My name is Michael, and I am here to teach you to move into the 5D. And this is what I learned about myself. This is what I discovered about myself when I abandoned the 9 to 5 and I took the leap of faith and the jump to move out and doing the things that I really crave doing. So if you're one of those that are like thinking about like maybe I should leave my job, maybe I should go travel the world, maybe I should start my business, maybe I should do something different with my life that I've been dreaming of, but I haven't really kind of like got to the point where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. This video will be definitely for you, and there are a lot of things that you can learn from these steps that I took. So leaving the 9 to 5 could be a really hard thing for some people because there's so much attachment to the safety and security that the 9 to 5 gives. But what I also experience is that safety and that kind of like thinking that what should I do? Like, who am I? What can I contribute with? What do I even want to do? All of those things, if those things is not really in place, which means that like you don't really know what you're good at, maybe you haven't discovered what you really love doing, or maybe you haven't seen some parts of you that can go and do things, because what this whole life with not doing the 9 to 5 is about, that is about like finding your strength, all of your passions and whatever you are good at, and go out and do those things and not asking other people for permission. Because so many times we live in a world where we work for someone else and we have to ask for permission. Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do this? And blah, blah, blah. And that creates a loop in the mind where you think that you need to ask for permission to go out there and go do your thing. I can tell you right now, the only one you have to ask for permission is yourself. The only one you have to like ask is you. Like, what do I want? I'm living my life right now, and one day I will not be on this planet anymore. So what do I want to experience before I'm leaving? When I finally decided that I'm never gonna take a 9 to 5 job again, I was really sure that because there was so much pain in working a 9 to 5, so I was like, I can't do this. First of all, I'm broke, and all the money that I make just goes on spending for food and rent, and then all of a sudden I'm broke again, and I have to start over. So the pain was already enough, and if I was already broke, I had nothing to lose, so I could just go do my thing, and when I go do my thing, I will make sure that I do better than the 9 to 5. But if you are really comfortable, maybe you have a high wage, like a high one that makes you feel even more safe, that could put you in a place where you're like, I'm so comfortable that I don't want to do anything else. So this video is often for those people that kind of like, I had enough. I don't want to work for someone else. And here is the thing. It's reversed. The psychology with this is reversed. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that the better off you are, like the more comfortable kind of like middle class things you have, the more problem you will have to like really leave. It has to come to a point where you're like, I had enough and I want to do something different. Like, I really want to do something different. My heart, my soul knows that I'm here for something different than just go to work, go back home, eat, go to work again, and then come back home. And in this specific like way of thinking, there's a lot of like things that you need to be aware of. For example, fear. I know a lot of people, I don't want to talk about it, but it's so ingrained in us that we will make sure that we stay in fear, and the fear kind of like consume us. So when we want to go out there and we all of a sudden we feel fear about like, how should we do this? How should we make money? How should we survive? All of these questions comes up. But you have to know that behind fear is like a coin. On one side it's fear, and on the other side is bliss. But you can't see the bliss until you kind of like let go or like force yourself through the fear and take the leap of faith on the things you want to go, and then go do it. And I mean go do it because there will be a lot of people that, maybe even your family, they're gonna tell you that you're crazy, you don't know what you're doing, how can you do this, do you know what you're doing, like, are you even safe, maybe blah blah blah, it's dangerous, you can't start a company, or there's a lot of bullshit that comes, and I've been through it. You can't listen to these people. Make sure that these people are the petrol and the fuel on your fire. Make sure that these people that says you can't do things, and like, when you hear you can't, you hear I can. That's the only way. And there is also a process of letting go of a lot of these people. Unfortunately, you will have to let go of some of these people, because they have only known you in the version when you don't do this thing, and when you're about to go do something else, they gonna be like, who is this person, I don't even know him. And it's nothing strange, and there's no judgment in it, but just be aware, because it took me many years to kind of like let go of all of these people, and remember that the only one that knows the best way for you is actually you. You can't listen to what other people think and say. If you do, that will only take you so far. Maybe some people have some good intentions, but most of them, they just want to see you in the same level that you already are. And there has to be a point where you take the leap of faith, which means that you are standing on kind of like a, I don't know what you want to call it, but like somewhere where you can take the leap and jump and risk. Risk must be involved, because if there's no risk, there's also no reward. And if there's no risk, the mind will go back to the familiar and the comfortable pattern. So the more you risk and the more you put in, then the more money you risk and the more value of something that you put in the things that you're about to do, the greater your success will be. It means that the bigger you go, the better you will make sure to solve everything, because you put so much in it, so you don't want to lose it. And that is the way the mind works. And if you don't do this, you will be stuck. I've been working with so many people, and like, if they don't take the leap of faith, there is no success to gain. It's just what it is. It's just like, there is no other way. And I know most people would not be able to handle it, but you are not the most people. You are amazing. You are one of those that you really know that you want to do something. It's not something that you just came up with. Maybe you've been sitting with this for years. You've been feeling it in your heart. You're like, I want to do something different. Like, I want to do something that not everyone else is doing. That is the way we evolve. That is the way new entrepreneurs, trailblazers, people that pave the way, are going out there and make sure that the world is actually changing. And you know, as Steve Jobs says, the only people that change the world are the ones that believe it's possible. Like the only crazy people that can believe it's crazy enough, they will do it. Comment down below if there's something that you're like, what are you gonna do? What leap of faith are you gonna take? Where are you going? What are you up to? Comment, I want to hear down below. And also subscribe. I would appreciate that. Because what you are doing, you are going for spiritual enlightenment. Making more money, setting yourself free is literally a spiritual enlightenment when you step out of the crowd and you start to walk your own way, and you know what you're good at. Or maybe you don't know yet, but you are going to explore that. You're gonna find out. And when you find out the strength that you have, then you can go and do it anywhere in the world that you want. It's not like super rocket science. When you start to learn yourself like these skills, all of a sudden you can apply it anywhere in the world with anyone. And all of a sudden you have no fear of taking the next leap and the next leap, because you know what you're good at. You know who to call, you know to like what to do and handle money and all of those things. Maybe you set up your company. Because when I worked at a 9-to-5 job, I was so miserable. And there was no other way for me than leaving it. Like, I was there a lot of years because I was completely broke, and maybe that's a good start. You also learn that that is not what you want to do. But later on, you have to go and do something bigger. Either you stay where you are and you get stagnant, or you move on. There's just like, there's no other way. Life always moves on. And this is really exciting. It's so cool when you get out in the world to see what's out there. You find other people that is like-minded, and you go out and you build your life in a way that you want to build it. Isn't that amazing? One of the things that can be tricky is to handle your own money. Most people have no idea how to handle money, and they don't even have any relationship with it. So when you do this thing, it's very important to start to manage your own money and the money in the company, or however you do it. And when you do that, you get better and better and better. And in the moment, in the beginning, it can be very overwhelming, and like, you try to manage all the stuff and you don't really know, but then you let it to settle a little bit, and then later on it's like, I just do it. It's just like normal. So understand that in the beginning there's a lot of things that is new, and every time something is new, it can feel overwhelming, but after some time you will feel great about it, and it will be like, yeah, it's just like driving a car, and I just like, that's how I do things. Or I can do a manual shift. I know how to do the manual shift. And I would say you are going to have to get to know yourself and the way to kind of like do business and handle money and all of those things. Be able to say no, be able to say yes, and where your boundaries are, and see your own worth, and all of those things that are like really crucial for some people to learn. You are only going to learn those things when you go and do your stuff. If you work for someone else, many times you're working in a frame where you're kind of like protected, and that's the only thing you do, and you're not moving outside of it because you have rules in that company or in that system where you can only do those things, which means that limits you to who you are. So if you really want to grow and really want to go do things that is outside your comfort box, go take the leap of faith. Much love, guys. See you in the next video.